Welcome to another update. Algo manifest. Oh yeah. Okay, now we're going to talk about all the inflation. Welcome to another video update. And now we are going to talk about inflation and what's going on. This is crazy week. I'm fat because inflation is coming. At the same time, we have not seen the type of inflation is inflation to make it trade. So this was our last warning, and I'm going to lower the music more and more. Welcome back. So now I'm watching the DBA ETF chart that we won at the beginning of the month on November 8th. So this was the chart, and the signal was giving long there. The DBA was going to show was going to show some action, and really it happened, and it moved out of the range, and it went up as promised. This is not the 50%, 100% chances. So we have now a situation that DBA should continue in the next month, targeting 23. 23 is the number. At the same time, we saw some reaction, because in the old days, gold was giving some signals, and now the gold was giving the signal that no inflation was coming, or there was not a risk on game, and Bitcoin was way ahead of the game, as moving higher. Bitcoin was saying, no, I'm going nowhere. And that's what happened. Bitcoin was testing the highs, but Bitcoin was saying, hey, I'm going nowhere. So Bitcoin went as far to 68k. If you see that Bitcoin is back in a very dangerous area now, because Bitcoin should keep staying above 67k in a weekly basis. Otherwise, it's reaching the next level, which is 53, and if it starts to move below that, it will massively crash back to, I believe, 43. So I warned about the Bitcoin high, and we are still in the same area. I warned about this area, specific area, on January 28 of 21. So Bitcoin is a very dangerous area now. It's entering in the danger zone. It's still alive, but it may enter in the zone this week, maybe this weekend. So it should defend 57k at all costs. Otherwise, it's risking 53 or a complete crash, and everything is possible for Bitcoin. So Bitcoin should defend this area at all costs. So we saw that DBA was moving higher and giving a signal. Food is going to go up, and it's in completely different trend compared to gold, compared to Bitcoin. Food is in a very bullish pattern, and it's targeting 23, like it's in a different moment for food prices. DBA is the ETF, is a food related ETF. Let's check one more thing. So silver was trash and going nowhere after was stopped in the 50-day average. Silver was stopped there. If you check the chart, it was completely stopped in the 50-day average. Completely stopped there like magic, and saying I'm going nowhere. But if you check the previous action in silver, it was like saying I'm going nowhere. So the news of COVID coming back on Europe is real. And if you check the charts, I was checking the chart. Argentina, after the elections, got hammered in the black market, US dollar market, and it got hammered in the fixed in the fixed rate market, in the bond market here in Argentina, in fixed income, the fixed income and the bond market, and we got simultaneous signal between Bitcoin and food prices going up, crypto being stopped, gold being stopped. And if you check all what happened in Austria, you will see that the active cases in Germany, the worst was 30k new daily cases per day, and now we have the double of that amount, more than the double. Yesterday it was 60, and now it's 64. It keeps going up, and now they are in the worst time. And we have seen that the hospitalizations are occurring to fully vaccinated people. So they are the ones who are vaccinated but not boosted. So they want a third dose in that population. And there are some theories I will not mention because I may get censored if I keep talking about COVID. But the thing is that if you believe it or not in the curve, is even worse than all the ways before in Germany. So Austria went for fourth mandatory vaccination, and United States said I can't do that because Florida is giving new laws and they are banning employers to force mandatory vaccines on its employees. So we have the euro US dollar crashing this week. You will see that the crash in the euro dollar was heavily hammered, and the markets are picking up the risk again. So the market is picking up the risk, but inflation is going to be the result in some positions after the liquidation of the market. So now I don't know why it's taking so much here. S&P 500 already giving a signal, but it's not it's giving some pattern very similar to Bitcoin, retesting 2 double tops there. It looks stoppish on the way, but I'm not convinced. I don't know what's going on with this market. We're 2 trading view. It's low now, nothing that. So it's going there. It's seeing some resistance, and the pattern is very similar to Bitcoin. So we have to control the S&P 500 and see what will do this chart. What is the most certain thing in gold? Gold is being rejecting the very particular area below 900, and this area here, I was marking that area. The number is around 1870, and gold is quite bearish in my case with this pattern, and I believe next target, if gold keeps going down, will target 1800s, and they will enter in this area that stay in the last half of the year. So gold looks completely bearish now, and the most important risk is the 1800 here. The target should continue to go down. Most likely gold will enter this area now, so it gets boring. In my case, it will be boring, and silver will follow, of course. But food are giving us a different signal, so we have to see if food starts to correct all this impulse and keeps going higher, or it goes back and it starts following Bitcoin, it starts following gold. In my case, the long-term signal in food prices has been given now. I believe that we are going to see much higher prices because the supply chain crisis will increase. because if you see real lockdowns and 1/3 of the population not allowed to go to indoors, this will keep pushing the supply side, and maybe we see lockdowns which equal 1/3 population of the last year. So last year we have 100% population. Now we are seeing targeted lockdowns against vaccinated people. That's 1/3 population, most likely in Europe, most likely in America. If you see, all the patterns are giving that we will see lower precious metals resistance. These cryptocurrencies are holding there. If they keep holding, they will stay safe. The case of Ethereum is quite surprised because it's still holding, but Ethereum eventually will follow Bitcoin. So the Ethereum chart is looking bad in the weekly charts, but not conclusive. Looking neutral in the daily charts, and the monthly charts are like very topish. So be careful with Ethereum. I won't talk about shitcoins or altcoins today. I will stay with gold, precious metals, and COVID subject and food. So stay alert, because we are seeing now that it could start big crash in cryptocurrencies or a big crash in precious metals. The signals are here. Gold is targeting the 1800 area most likely, and Bitcoin, remember, should keep this 57k area at all costs. 57k area is the number we gave here in January 28. I want to make a vertical line, so you see my video when I mentioned that it was the key level. Right here I warned that Bitcoin was heading to 50k live. That was in January. So now we are back to the same dangerous area. Should Bitcoin enter here, we'll be risking a crash if it leaves the 57k area in the weekly charts. It must continue to stay high and keep pushing higher, and don't risk staying in this area, because this red area here is extremely dangerous for Bitcoin, and it could risk a massive crash should don't move below this level. Should move sorry. And DBA, as I said, is still pushing, and they are entering a very specific area here in the 20s, and it must continue to go up to 23. I believe this is a very positive pattern for DBA. So we are going to see higher prices of food, very higher prices. First 23 and then bang, 30. Will be very dangerous for poor countries. This chart is very dangerous because should DBA continues to go up, they have two impulses, one to here, the next one will be completely up to the 30 level. So if I'm bullish, if you want to play, we have deflationary pressures and we have inflationary pressures at the same time. So cryptocurrencies will be a risky moment now. Precious metal are saying no inflation in the short term, risk off, and we have food saying risk on. The different signals. So the most clear signal for me is that precious metals are going to get trashed most likely very soon. Gold should go to 1800. That's my signal, and I hope you enjoy this update. Coming updates, I will be talking about inflation, capital controls, and all the techniques and what have I done in 40 years in a 50% inflation country, 10 times higher than Europe, 10 times higher
than the USA. So I prepare a very special update, maybe a documentary, because I have been inflating my face for this video, and I'm going to show you everything about inflation and hyperinflation, my real life experience with hyperinflation, and it will be fun. So stay tuned and share this video. Thanks.